Hi everyone. So today we are in conversation with the second year students of BIT School of Management, BITSoM Bombay. We are here to understand their journey and experience with BITSoM, and people who are watching this video will also get a fair idea whether BITSoM is the right B school for you or no. With us, we have got Snehal, Megha, and Kabir, who are the second year students at BITSoM Bombay. So firstly, we would love to know about the pre-MBA background of each one of you, in fact. So right from your academic background, experience you have been carrying before joining this business school, your performance in CAT, GMAT, or GRE, whichever exam you have taken, and the primary reason for selecting this new B school. Let's start with Kabir.
So my pre-MBA background revolves around business and finance. I'm an undergrad from Christ University in BBA honors, and I majored in finance. Post that, I've also worked with Ernst& Young for a while before moving back to my family business in my hometown. So I have about 2.5, 3 years of work experience. I gave GRE and I was supposed to go abroad for my master's. I made it to a couple of universities abroad in London, in US, Duke University, UCL, etc. So that was always on the cards. But then COVID happened, and those plans sort of gone left in the middle. But yeah, at that same point, BITSOM opened up, and this felt like the most global school, at least in the country. It truly is international, and that feels, once you're on the campus, once you're doing it, really feels like that. So my purpose for BITSOM and my pre-MBA background sort of pushed me to where the international element was coming in. Mega, you want to take that?
And also, if you can share some light about the performance in GRE.
Yeah, so I scored a 318, and I applied with these scores to Duke and UCL as well. So all of that worked out.
So yeah, prior to joining BITSOM, I had 6 years of experience, close to 6 years of experience working in Tata in the Tata Group. Like I worked across like Tata Consultancy Services and also in TSMG, Tata Strategic Management Group. I'm actually a BTech graduate in civil engineering. I graduated in 2015, so it's been a while since I graduated. So I was already working in the business domain, like in consulting and also in product management, and hence come doing an MBA was definitely on the cards. Uh, Similar to Kabir, I applied. I took GMAT and scored around 690. So I was looking forward to applying global colleges around the world. But then COVID happened, similar stories, and BITSOM I was actually lured by the set of amazing faculties that BITSOM had around that time, and that was one of the major reasons why I chose BITSOM. Being in India, this was probably the closest that I could get, the experience I could get from like the feelings of the same global B school. So yeah, that was majorly a reason why I chose BITSOM.
So I graduated back in 2017 from Shahid Sukhdev College of Business Studies, and being in a college, although I pursued my BTech from there, and but being in a business college, it provided me a lot of ecosystem where I could sense and understand a lot of things that goes around, like case competitions, students working on different sorts of projects in the management side also. So after graduation, I also took a role also in Deloitte Tech Consulting, which sort of gave me a brief overview how consulting works and how businesses operate in tandem with each other. During all these years, so CAT was obviously on my mind, and I appeared CAT for 3 times, and in all of the attempt, I scored more than 98 percentile. With my latest attempt, I had 98.97. So the idea was that I had certain list of colleges in my mind which I wanted to pursue my MBA from. And when in the final attempt, when BITSOM came, there were two major things that attracted me. One was obviously the opportunities in terms of the career prospects. So college has already listed at that point of time the companies that have already confirmed, and the opportunities surely seem really promising. The second was the backing of ABG and the BITS Pilani that the institute had, and that was something that gave me a lot of confidence. But I think the turning point for me was the interview process. That was amazing as compared to all the other interview processes that I had attended, and that was the point when I started thinking to really look forward to the BITSOM.
Amazing. Now we have been hearing that BITSoM is a new age B school, which is unlike a contemporary or conventional B school which are running these days in India. So Kabir, if you can share some light, what differentiates BITSoM's MBA program versus the other conventional B schools that we have in India?
So I would say that one of the key differences would be the faculty itself. So our faculty is from all around the world, and when I say all around the world, these are top global B schools, from your Harvards to Stanfords to Oxford. So we're having faculty come and fly in every other week from the best B schools in the world. So one of the factors is this. The second would be our new curriculum. I think the winning at the workplace courses, we call them WOWs. So those courses focus on your soft skills. For example, I might be studying a core subject in finance or marketing, but on the side I'm also studying theater and music and dance, and that's mandatory for everyone. So I would say that that also adds a lot of value to your personality over the course of 2 years once you go through that rigor of soft skills. Apart from that, I think the holistic thinking at the school is not just about the grades, marks. So there's a lot more going on. There's a lot of focus on extracurriculars, on exterior competitions. There's the London Business School exchange program going on. So I don't think a lot of universities and B schools in India offer an exchange program of that level, an immersion program of that level. So I would say that the whole package, where we get that global element with the faculty, where we focus on different skills, so it builds up a really nice deal for a student to come into and grow over the 2 years. Yeah.
Now let's talk about one of the most important factors that people consider, which is the placements. Okay. So Snehal, if you can share some ideas, or let's say light on the entire placement process, how it works at BITSoM. We have heard that this is very much different than a normal B school's placement drive, which happens, which is purely run by professionals. So with respect to the engagements from the career services team, making you prepare for the interview rounds, taking workshops or boot camps, everything which goes as an input matrix. If you can share some light on that.
Sure. So we have a team called IPCS, which is Industry Partnership and the Career Services team, and it comprises of the professionals who dedicatedly work only for the placements and the corporate outreach programs. The primary job is to source the companies for the placements as well as for the live projects also. In tandem with that, the student placement committee works along with them, which operates all the back end processes that happens in the colleges. Let's say listing of the companies on Superset, organizing the talks, handling the processes during the recruitment days. So that's how both the team work here, which is sort of a unique thing that doesn't isn't right now offered at a lot of other B schools in India. uh, and the outcome, coming to the outcome side also, it has been a tremendous outcome for a B school in the first year of its program. We have really the press release states that we have an average of 23.85 lakhs and the median of 23, which I think is like a new, definitely a good standard for a B school, which has been coming into the market and has been just 2 years into its operations. Other things are that we also had an external vendor also, which helped us in preparations, and since we being the founding batch did not had seniors, so we took a lot of help. We had each our backs also. We reached out to a lot of people in the industry who were already working, so that was sort of things that student took a lot of initiatives to reach out people who are in the companies despite not being from our college. So that really helped, and also helped us to create an idea, okay, how things work in a B school also. And this has helped us to create a repository now further, which will be passed down to the further batches, and like will be surely helpful in the upcoming cycles of the placements.
Very amazing. And could you name some of the companies which came on board?
Yeah, sure. So we had from the consulting domain, we had McKinsey, Bain, Carney, ADL, all the big fours, and Praxis Global, MXV Consulting participating. Among the FMCGs, we had HUL, Pidilite, Bajaj Care, uh, the Vodafone Idea also, and there were British Petroleum. So, and in technology, we had Cisco, Accenture Technology, and there were new age startups also offering product management roles. There was a lot of attraction from the BFSI sector also, JP Morgan Chase, and the Indian banks coming for the placements. And we had a role for private equity by 8 Capital, and VC role offered by Servant Partners also in the first cycle. So that was a comprehensive roles that at least touched on all of the industries that generally students wish to work in after their MBA.
Very amazing. Now we have covered possibly the academic side, the placements. Let's talk about some fun element at BITSOM. How does the students at BITSOM gets engaged apart from the academics, projects, and the preparation of interviews?
So yeah, it's quite interesting to talk about this aspect in particular. So when we go to some traditional established B schools, we already have everything in place. But the interesting fact about being here in BITSoM is we actually worked with the management in creating the different kinds of committees and the clubs that we would be interested, and lay the foundation for the next batches to come and like use for their benefit. So we do have around like 20, like 18 to 20, that should be a safe number of committees and clubs in which students engage. When we talk about committees, these are things which are closer to the management, like students are engaged but they work very close to the management. I can name like the admissions committee, let's say marketing committee, then placement committees, etc., and student life committee also. And apart from the club, and apart from this, we have clubs, and clubs are also categorized in two parts. One being the academic clubs. Let's say we have marketing clubs in which who host the marketing events and the elements, finance, etc. And then we have hobby clubs like the speak up club, dance club, fitness club, entrepreneurship club, etc. So with all of these, every student is pushed, in fact are encouraged, every student is encouraged to participate and create something new, which is actually good for the entire community of BITSoM. We are also engaged in creating different events. We had two flagship events like like Beacon, which was an idea festival in which students from across all these clubs and committees were pulled together to create that with the management. It was a top level CXO event. Next, we had BITSoM Business Valley, which was for creating ideas, generating ideas on the basis of, which was actually a B school competition, B plan competition for open to all of the colleges. But apart from that, we also had very interesting event, not an event I per se, but it's kind of, we organized BITSoM dance, the first dance video. Actually, all the students came together and created a dance video to showcase how it is to be here at BITSoM. Very recently, also we had our farewell party and all that, which was a get together of all of these clubs and committees working together. So yeah, it's not just the studies and the placements that we do. We also invest good amount of time in enriching ourselves through different events and activities. So it's
Very
wholesome experience.
I've got one last question for all of you. Any piece of advice that you want to share to the forthcoming batch? Like we covered this perspective from the dean, so we thought let's hear it from the students also who have been in the campus for 2 years. Anyone?
Uh, so I would say that my experience has been very, very honest, real, authentic. It's been fabulous. So somebody chasing personal growth at a much deeper level than the average Joe that's looking just for a job or a placement. Of course, that's there. That's a very important part of your MBA. But if you're looking for something deeper, great peers, great environment for those 2 years, you want to learn, you want to grow, and be your real self. In fact, you want to find yourself. I've changed my career path probably twice in this last 2 years. So I mean, if you're just out there and looking for your own self, finding your own self, I think this is a great B school. You need to be in this environment to grow that level. Yeah.
One advice from my side would be I think the founding batch has already set the expectations and the bar very high. And this is, I think, one of the experiences or the like things that are unique to B schools that we would like the further batches to break that. We just want them to be much more successful than us because their success is obviously our success also. So that's what we want, be it academics, be it placements, or be it anything in their life. We just want our further batches to explore much and set the bar going high.
Amazing. Mika, anything
Yeah.
from your side?
Yeah, sure. For the forthcoming batches, maybe, it's a new school. So I would say if you are really invested in learning and co creating things, then this is actually the place. I think I had a huge round of transformation for myself, even though I have had worked in the corporate earlier, but I could still see the massive difference over these 2 years journey here at BITSOM. But and again, yeah, I think Kabir said the same point that placements are important, jobs are important, but those are not just the only things. Focus in growing, self development, and I think BITSOM has been able to do that. And along with that, I just add to one thing: MBA is a difficult journey. It is demanding. So be your authentic self and enjoy every bit of it, and make learning as your primary goal. Yeah.
Amazing. All right, then. Thank you so much to all of you, in fact, for taking time out and talking to us. And we wish you the best for the upcoming journey. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Hi, everyone. Now let's talk to the students of the first year of BITSoM Bombay. These are the students who will be soon going for their summer internship process. For this discussion, we have got Krishna and Priyadarshini with us. Krishna and Priyadarshini, please help us with your academic and the professional background before you joined the business school.
Yeah, sure. So I'll go first.
Yeah.
My name is Krishna. I'm from Hyderabad. So I did my schooling from Hyderabad,
Mhm.
and after that I pursued my engineering in chemical from the JNTU College of Engineering. Post that I worked at ITC for 18 months as a process engineer. I wanted a switch in my career, so I decided that an MBA was the right path for me. I gave my CAT, and luckily I converted BITSoM. So here I am. Yeah.
Hello, sir. My name is Priyadarshini. I have studied chemical engineering from SSN College, affiliated to Anna University, Chennai. And post that, I have 3 years of work ex in a manufacturing company called Saint Gobain Glass India in Sri Perambatoor, Chennai. So post that, I'm here for BITSoM to change my career from manufacturing to management.
Amazing. Could you also share your CAT, GMAT, or GRE percentiles and the options that you had?
Yeah.
And the
So
primary reason why did you select the newbie school?
okay, so my CAT percentile was approximately 97 percentile,
Mhm.
96.8, something like
Mhm.
that. So I had other calls from the IITs. I had IIT-D, I had IIT-B, and the baby and new IIMs as well. But I really liked the teaching faculty at BITSOM and the vision that they had for the B school and the processes they had already set in place. Even though it was a really new school, I liked the way they were approaching their approach to education was very new, and it was something that I related to very strongly because they have a lot of emphasis on experiential learning and world class faculty. So those were my main attractive features towards BITSOM, and I think it has been a good decision so far.
So I applied through GRE here. I was considering other B schools at that time. Only I saw BITSOM, and I genuinely wanted to be in India also. So I felt I would get a world class faculty experience as well as the business school experience that I would get in abroad in India uh, in BITSOM. So that is why I choose BITSOM.
Amazing. Now it's been a year, I believe, right? How has been the experience and journey so far?
It has been a wonderful journey. I've made a lot of new friends and family as well. So it has been a great learning curve as well. Especially the faculty, I think they've exceeded our expectation. So I came in with a very high bar, but they've exceeded that. I've learned to look at business from a very new perspective than I had before. And also, BITSOM is a school where it tries to promote your holistic learning. You're not only involved in academics, but you always have something else to work on. You have case competitions, you have club activities, etc. You have committee activities. So it's a pretty packed day in our schedule, and we are growing not only academically but as a person as well. They teach us to be more empathetic to people, and also towards we have lots of issues on ethics and morality. So they're trying to make us more well-rounded individuals, and that is something that I really appreciate. So yeah, the first year has been a blast. The only regret I have is it has passed by too quickly. That's it.
Amazing. Priyadashini, I want some other perspective. So,
Okay.
from the perspective of the career services team, I'm sure there's one level of input which goes towards making students prepare for the final rounds. But you guys are done with the summer interviews,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So, help us understand the process of how the summer internship drive happens at BITSOM.
Sure. So we have a specific career services team called IPCS, as well as a placement committee of students who actually act as a bridge between IPCS and these students. So even for the internship process, for us, even right from the orientation, we were connected with IPCS and the placement committee team throughout. Like right from resume preparation, they leveraged all the possible places for us to fine tune our resume, to have our mock interviews, to even have our GD sessions.
Yeah.
Like GD sessions, as far as I remember, it is not there in every company. It is there for few roles, but even they wanted to tweak that and not lose opportunity on that space. So for every part of the interview process, not just the final round, we had a throughout comprehensive plan prepared by the placement committee and the IPCS for us, so that all the students are well trained. Additionally, even after receiving the shortlist, they are given a very personalized training as well. So we have a external vendor team. With the external vendor team, for example, if a student is getting shortlisted for a top consulting firm, they ensure that the mock interviews are done by the people who are there in that firm. So that gives us a proper learning experience as well as get us very confident and prepared for the interview.
Amazing. Krishna, also, if you can share some light on the admission process of
Sure.
BITSoM. Right? Is it going to be too challenging for students to get into this? Or what kind of profile BITSoM is entertaining with respect to performance in CAT, GMAT, or GRE, experience, or diversity of the batch?
Yeah, so BITSoM, that was something that I found very interesting when I was applying to BITSoM, and I would love to share that. So BITSoM doesn't have a cutoff per se, but they encourage being good at studies and all, but they also look at your entire profile. So what they do is that they ask you to fill a detailed application form about your details and all that, where you will have to write essays. So these essays act like a look into your brain. So when people are reading it, they understand what kind of a person you are, what are your thought processes, from which place do you come when you're writing that essay. So that was something that gives you a more deeper understanding about people, along with CAT scores and other test scores. That is something. After that, one more thing that I really liked about BITSOM was that the interview process was very different from the other B school interviews that I had given. So the BITSOM interview panelists were all very focused on getting to know me as a person. So they wanted to know what I had done in life, what were the motivations in my life, what were the major events. Whereas in the other B schools, they were more focused about what were my educational qualifications, and they were more technical than personal. So this had a very personal and unique touch to it. And by the end of the interview, I felt that I knew myself better as a person. So that was something that I found really interesting, and they are willing to give you time to understand you, and that is one thing that I found really useful. And there are a certain level of expectations that you are expected to meet, like the average CAT percentile is around 92 of our batch, and GRE is, I think, 322 or something is the average GRE score. So there are certain expectations you're required to meet. But if you have a holistic profile, they're willing to give you that one chance to prove yourself, even though that one day didn't go well when you were writing that exam. So that was something that I found really interesting about BITSOM.
Amazing. Priyadarshini, my last question is to you. The second year is just about to graduate, okay, and they have already set the bars of the placement statistics. Now, what are your expectations on the second year who'll be going out with respect to mentorship, networking, or something else, which will help you out to even break the bars that they have set?
Uh, so, uh, so, like we experienced our relationship with seniors during very difficult times, like during internships and while hosting events and being in clubs and committees. So, one thing that was very new to me here was I heard from other B schools that there could be some friction initially, and but here as soon as I came here, I understood there was a very good and positive culture between seniors and juniors. So, and most of the seniors are placed in good companies, and they don't mind or hesitate sharing their details with respect to internship experience, with respect to the case competitions they have attended, with respect to the reference PPTs which professors have given good credit about. So, sharing of resources and collaboration is one thing that I think BITSoM as a whole has us together. So, I feel even when the seniors go out, that would be a positive remark on us, and obviously there would be a high expectation upon us to achieve that or go beyond that bar, which our seniors are also expecting. And personally, I feel everyone would be equally available to us amidst their busy career ahead, because that's the culture they have set for us, and we have to drive that.
Amazing. All right, then thank you so much for taking
Thank
time
you.
out and talking to
It
us.
was a
Wish
pleasure.
you the best for the upcoming summer internship and the second year.
Thank you.
Thank you.